Hello, my name is Bello. You're welcome to the PGD Podcast. It's actually amazing having you here. I'm so excited that you were able to listen to the previous episode, and I'm so excited seeing the reply and the responses. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your feedbacks and everything. This is a bonus episode where after I dropped the last episode, I have been thinking a lot about the triumphal entry, and I've been really, should I say blessed? I've been blessed by the entire message in its entirety. The message really blessed me. You know, we talked about the donkey and the colt, how that they were tied and kept and no man has sat upon them, and I began to think about what this could mean, and it just blew me away. It keeps blowing me away. Now, the fact that donkey, no one had ever sat upon that donkey. The donkey has never been sat upon. It has never gone on a parade or something like that. So, but then the master chose that donkey for the triumphal entry. Like, it has never been sat upon. So, what if it misbehaves when you sit upon it? But then it was the one that was chosen, even though there was no experience as it were. It does not have the experience as it were, but then it was chosen. So I began to think about how that I could actually get offers and appointments in areas where I feel like I do not fit or I do not have qualifications or experience in. Yeah, that's what it actually meant for me. It was standing out in that regard for me, like really seriously, and also the fact that this donkey was tied, and then I began to think about what it means to be tied. Now it means there's actually a rope keeping this donkey in a place, right? And this could mean that this donkey could actually want to get a particular thing. Like if you're tied in a place now, you may see something you want, but you may try to reach for it, but be unable to get it. You won't be unable to get it. And I began to think about how there are times we try so much to get certain things and we are unable to get them. Like we are reaching for things, but we are unable to reach them. You get? Because when you tie a donkey, it can only go as far as the rope will allow it to go. Like there are times that we don't really get the things that we want, and we try to get them, but when we can't, because we are still probably not probably limited or restricted in a way, or we probably lack the authority to reach for those things. One of the things that freedom will do for us, because I think in the last episode, I said that this message came, and I think it's coming at this time because Jesus is said to send for us to be loosed, and this is what I think it means that we are. When we get loosed, this is what I know would happen, that things we've been trying to reach for and we are unable to get, we are going to reach for them again and we'll get them this time. That things that we've been eyeing and we've been trying to see become ours, and we have been unable to really get them to us. Now we are going to reach out again and it will be ours. Like we are going to get them. So it makes me so excited, and it makes me to know that no more would my efforts be wasted. Right? So everywhere where you have felt that you are tied, or you have felt this lack of freedom, you're going to be loosed, and you're going to be having new experiences, sweet experiences, right? And one of the other things that also stood out for me, even though I mentioned it in the last podcast, is that nobody can resist your freedom when Jesus decides to free you. When the master decides that he wants you to be free, nobody can resist that freedom, because we see how that even the owner of the donkey, or the person who has authority over the donkey as at that time, could not resist or stop the disciples from getting the donkey. He says, tell whosoever asks you that the master has need for them. All right. So whatever made you, even though you were legally tied, you will be loosed, because God is the Lord of all things, right? And if God decides that he wants you to be free, like whosoever the Son set free is free indeed, definitely you're going to be free. So it doesn't matter if you are a slave to sin, you have been a slave to sin, you've been a slave to addiction. It doesn't matter whatsoever. Or there are gods of the land, or there is this demon or this thing happening in the family that does not allow people to prosper. It doesn't matter all of those things. When Jesus decides and Jesus says he wants you to be loosed, he wants you to come, he wants you to be delivered, he wants you to be untied, there is nobody who can resist it, because God is the Lord of all things. So even though the enemy feels like you belong to them legally, Jesus is the owner of all things and he can deliver you. So these things actually stood out so much, so much for me. And also the fact that when we are tied, we can be controlled by just anybody. When you tie a thing, just anyone can come carry the rope and begin to pull that thing to where they want. So it means that the way people used to control and use us before, it won't be so anymore. We will not be slave to anyone. We will be free people, free to serve the Lord. So I'm just so excited that episode came and that God released that word to us, meaning we are going to become free. It means we are going to be limitless when it comes to productivity. We are going to reach for things and be able to get them. And then we, even though we are inexperienced and we feel unworthy of the place he's taking us to or what he wants to use us for, we are still the one that he will use. So be brace yourself, be confident. You are the one that he has chosen, not because of what you have done, but he has chosen you. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for listening and for the replies you sent.